In Japan, I went on my first bicycle touring trip ever, so obviously I didn't know a whole lot about which bicycle would be suitable. There are all those discussions about the best high-end bicycle, and on the other end, there are those people who cycle the world on a bicycle from a scrapyard. In this video, I tell you all about the bicycle I chose based on my circumstances for my 3-week cycle trip in Japan, all the problems I encountered with this bicycle, and my recommendations if you want to try bicycle touring. This was my first bicycle tour ever. I had never even been on a 2-day cycle trip, so I didn't know how far I could cycle. I wanted backup options like taking the train or hitchhiking in case I got too exhausted. But even though Japan is a nation of bicycles, and even though Japan is a nation of trains, I mean they have those fancy bullet trains, right? It is not quite easy to take a bicycle onto trains in Japan. You first have to take apart your bicycle, which basically means taking off the front wheel and storing the bicycle and the front wheel in a designated bicycle carry bag called Rinko bag. Or you can ride a folding bicycle, which you can easily fold and put into the bag. I didn't feel confident enough to take a part as important as a wheel of a bicycle and then reassemble it. So I set my mind onto buying a folding bicycle. My conditions for the bicycle were: number 1, it had to be a foldable 26-inch bicycle with at least 18 gears, so I don't succumb to the mountains of Japan. Spoiler alert, the hills absolutely wrecked me anyway. And number 2, the bicycle had to be cheap. I already have a reasonably good bicycle at home in Austria, so I only needed one for 3 weeks in Japan. But the thing is, folding bicycles are either quite expensive or they have tiny wheels and no gears, which basically kills you on the mountainous roads of Japan. Luckily, I found a rare and seemingly perfect offer. So even though I don't usually buy second-hand, I set out to buy a used bicycle from Craigslist. There wasn't a lot of space to take the bicycle for a test ride on site, and somehow I didn't have a good feeling, but I bought it anyway. It cost me 14,000 yen, which is approximately 120 euros. Doesn't sound like too bad of a deal, right? Well, there were a few issues with the bicycle that I realized only after buying the bicycle. Problem number 1, the gears. The rear gear shifter went from 1 to 6, but there were 7 cogs instead of 6. So obviously that was a mismatch. Because of this, the chain would sometimes jump over cogs. And the guy at the bike shop told me to just switch gears carefully because the chain might jump off the cogs entirely. This one time, the chain actually did jump off the cogs and got stuck between the cogs and the wheel. It took me 30 minutes to get it unstuck. It was quite annoying and I hurt my hand. I had to shift very carefully and slowly, but I got used to it. Problem number 2, the wobbly front wheel. Apparently, the wheel was slightly bent. Looking at the wheel from above when cycling, it was visibly wobbling from side to side. There were no issues when going slowly, that's why I didn't realize it during the test ride. But riding felt slightly unstable when going fast, and especially when riding curves at higher speeds. But I don't usually ride at high speeds anyway. My average seems to be about 10 km per hour. I was slightly worried that the wheel would just give in under my body weight and sends me flying over the handlebars, or that because of the wobble I would fall off a cliff. But when I asked the people at the bike shop, they weren't overly alarmed about it, so I just left it as it was, and nothing bad happened. If I had wanted to use this bicycle beyond 3 weeks, I would have replaced the wheel, because things like this only get worse. Oh, and I also had to replace the pedals because they were broken too, but that was just a minor thing. After doing the math, I realized I should have gotten the bicycle cheaper, in my opinion. I don't know a whole lot about bicycles. I did a test ride and it seemed okay, but now I know better. Allegedly, the bicycle was 2 years old, and the original purchasing price was 25,000 yen. I bought it for 14,000 yen, which is 56% of the original price. Apparently, a bicycle is only worth half after 2 years if it's in an okay condition. Buying the cheapest wheel from Amazon and having it replaced at a random bike shop would cost 5,000 yen. So taking half of the original price, subtracting 5,000 yen, brings me to 7,500 yen. I should have negotiated down to half the price I actually bought it for, but I don't want to dwell on the money. I don't regret buying it. It's not like I bought a new house or a new car. It was just a bicycle I needed for 3 weeks. It was annoying at times, but I didn't fall off a cliff, and it served its purpose reasonably well. I had an awesome experience for quite little money, and I learned to be more careful about my future purchases. For me, bicycle touring was just an amazing experience, and I recommend trying it. If you want to try it, but you're not sure if you like it or not, I have a few pieces of advice. Number 1. Use a bicycle that you already own or buy a cheap one. No need to buy an expensive one right from the start. Imagine spending $500 and not liking it versus spending $150 and not liking it. It can be done with a cheap and old bicycle. If you realize that you like it, you can always buy a better one later. Number 2. If buying secondhand, be careful. I went there thinking, it's gonna be okay, but I should have informed myself properly. Make sure to at least check for wobbly wheels and malfunctioning gears. Read about other things that should be checked or ask someone knowledgeable so you can negotiate the price properly. Number 3. Do shorter trips before you go for the long one. Even though I say this, I absolutely do not regret going all in from the beginning. But going for a few shorter trips certainly helps you figure out your own capabilities, helps you build stamina, and makes you comfortable with your gear. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. In my next video, I will talk about the gear, as in rear carrier, basket, and things like this I bought for my bicycle. I didn't buy any expensive stuff, I bought cheap stuff and just improvised.